How's it going, you guys? Kyle here to teach you all how to do the Macaco, which was, I think, made famous in capoeira. Then again, I don't know the actual history for it. However, Macaco does mean monkey in Portuguese, so fun language lesson there. The Macaco is kind of like a back handspring, but you're not jumping back and you're not necessarily springing off your hands. It's kind of like a one-handed cartwheel, only instead of going sideways, you're going straight backward like a back handspring. So, because the overall movement involves a bridge-like motion, you want to make sure that you can do a bridge. The most basic, simplest way you can start with a bridge is to start on your back, bend your feet up, and then what you'll do is get your hands on the ground here, and then have your feet planted nice and firm, lift your hips up, then push with your arms. You just want to get your body up like that. Once you can do a bridge, then what you're going to work on from that is be able to go from here and turn into a bridge. Now you don't have to put your other hand down, because in the Macaco you don't necessarily have to put it down. Some people can do it with just the one hand. However, what you're going to do with your hand is when you're putting it down, if I'm putting it down, fingers pointing that way, it's my right hand and my fingers are pointing to the right, that means it's going to be hard. So let's say when I go up and over, and my hand stays put, when I get about to here, it's uncomfortable. I'm not going to want to support my whole body weight with my hand in that position. So what I'm going to do, since I'm turning more that way, I'm going to turn my hand in that direction, like so, to where the bend of my elbow, the inner bend, is facing outwards. So now, when I go up, my hand stays put as I'm going over. This is comfortable for me and I can manage that. So when I keep my hand there, in that one position, I can go over and do the Macaco without moving my hand. So keeping that in mind, that will make a huge difference. If my back is facing you, this might make it a little bit easier. With this hand, I would go like so. With my left hand, I would go like so. Basically, just turn it all the way around as much as you can. That way, when you go into it, you only have to keep that hand put in that one spot as you come up and over. Now, keep in mind, we're not doing the Macaco yet. I just wanted to show you that. What you're going to do with this drill, though, is you're just going to get used to having your hand planted there in position, and you're going to get used to this motion here. Reaching up and over, getting your hips up all the way, as open as you can, and reaching this arm over. Your goal is to be able to see the ground. But when you jump, you want to make sure your hips launch up and over your hand. If you're launching up and you're not getting your hips up over your hand, that's how you collapse on your arm. And that's where this hand here comes in handy. The reason I reach so much is not only so I can get my body open all the way, but because it gives me something to follow with my momentum. My hand is what starts the momentum, and I want my hips to follow, and then my feet to follow my hips. So it goes hands, hips, feet. Like so. And it happens really, really fast, but thinking of it that way, really, really fast, kind of makes a difference in the sequence. So just think hands, hips, and then feet following. Same thing on the other side. Just work on hands, hips, and feet. Reaching up and over. One thing too is if you want to go straight over, you'll want to work on going straight over, but work on your shoulder positioning. When you have your arm like this, if I go under like that, my shoulder feels one way. If I reach up and over like this, my shoulder feels a different way. This for me would be open, that for me would be closed. If you're putting your hand back closed where your armpit is facing down, then that's going to be really, really hard to go open and rotate. You want both arms to be more open. So when you're planting it, reach over and put it down. That way your armpit's more out. It's easier on your shoulder that way. So hands, hips, feet. Open. Notice how I did that? Open and plant. Follow with the hand. So 1, 2. Just like so. Now, another way you can work up to getting comfortable with the Macaco if you don't want to go straight over is to start with a cartwheel motion. Now, when you're starting a cartwheel, generally you're started here, you're squared up, and you're going sideways. If you're going to drill from the Macaco perspective, you want to start with your feet together and not sideways, but literally in the same position you would if you were going to go into the Macaco. You want to try not to take a step into the cartwheel. Try working on keeping your feet there, bending a little bit, turning, and putting that hand down and then jumping and reaching into the cartwheel. Just like when you were going straight over in the drill where you're reaching back, but you're going to go sideways. So squat, plant, and you'll cartwheel out just like so. Now the one thing you'll want to watch out for in the cartwheel is, let's say if I'm coming this way, and in the end of my cartwheel, I fold my body in like that. If your body's bent in like this, you're not going to build any muscle memory for the macaco. Because remember, the macaco is an open motion. So when you're going into your cartwheel, make sure you're getting used to kind of opening up, staying as open as possible, keeping those hips out and forward, but body staying square. Same thing the other way. Bend, reach, and cartwheel, and open nice and tall. Doing that will help you get more and more comfortable, and as you get used to going sideways, when you plant that hand, you'll start taking this hand here, same thing in the cartwheel, how this hand guides you. You're going to use that, and instead of going sideways into your cartwheel, you'll start going more vertical and more vertical as you progress to going straight over. Now when it comes to finishing the movement, where you're upside down, your feet are in the air, your hands are planted, you're looking at your hands and you're finishing it, all you want to think of is this one simple drill. And you can do this handstand drill here, and then bring your feet down, 1, 2. Just like that. It's just like when you're learning handstands, and you'll go feet, hands down, kick, kick. You'll try and hold it as long as you can before you put your feet back down. That same drill is exactly what you do out of the macaco. And you have the option in the macaco too. You can come over and plant 2 hands and then come down. But if you feel more confident and you have that stability and control and you feel that control, you can just keep that 1 hand and push off that alone and stand up from there. Hopefully I've helped you guys. That's a tutorial for the macaco. If I haven't helped you, please throw your concerns and comments in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer, reply when I can, and help you guys out as best I can. And just so you guys know, the macaco is actually a basic movement for an advanced trick called the macaco twist. If you haven't seen my old tutorial for the macaco twist, poof, there's one right there for you guys to go and check out, and you can just kind of see that. I did it at a gym, so it's not on hard obstacles, but still the technique remains the same. If you guys want to see me remake the tutorial on concrete with the tips that I know now, then throw a bunch of comments in there, let me know so I can try and get to that. But other than that, thanks for watching, you guys. Take great care, and of course, as always, stay positive. I don't want to come back up to readjust into the palm spin. As soon as I come back up, I want to go back up right into the palm spin. And as I bend down here, I don't want to come back up and readjust. I want to stay down and go right into the next one.